gosh, I just got cut off before. Hello, welcome. Let her cook and Brat Business vibes. I'm just gonna, I don't know why, I just wanted to go live. I could do a pre-recorded video, but I'm gonna go live. And I'm gonna talk about Brat Business and Let Her Cook vibes. They're kind of like the same thing, but they're not really. So here's just a quick little synopsis. This is just what I want to give you guys today. I want to give you a bit of like juice today. And the juice that I want to give you today is just because you don't want to get serious and get your shit together and focus and be disciplined does not mean you don't want to make it. It does not mean you don't have big dreams. It does not mean that you're not going to make it. I want to create an energy, a movement, and just a vibe around if you have this feeling of you want to come and go as you please on the internet. If you want to show up when you want to show up, you want to binge drop content when you want to binge drop content. I want to give you the permission slip that you do not need, but I will give you anyway, that you can show up as you want, however the frequency that you want as well. Because I feel like so many of us just think that there is one way, there's a copy and paste, and we don't even just think that. We have the beliefs programmed in our cells, in our souls, in our every piece of our being, that the way that we want to do it, the way that we want to show up in our business is not the way that it's going to work for us. It's not the way that it can work. Hello, if you're here, hashtag live vibes, let's have a little chatsies. But I'm on the bandwagon about Brat business models, and let me know how that resonates with you, how that feels for you, because to me it feels like alive, it feels exciting, it just feels like it's going to set you free, and I can feel the energy on the collective of this code about the Brat business is going to give you so much. Oh my gosh, more fun, more money, yes. Okay, so I just sent out an email, I just did a reel the other day, just really starting to touch on this Brat business, and so I wanted to like chat on the Instagrams, on the lives about Brat businessing and kind of bring all these different concepts that I've had lately. So values are not malleable, beliefs are reprogrammable. So in your business, so the way that you want to show up, oh my gosh, I'm just like in a vibe. Oh my gosh, Kiara's here. So, okay. What if you looked at your values, the way that you love to do things, the way that you love to show up, the way that you love to create, the way that you love to write, the way that the frequency you like to create in, the constancy that you like to do, like, what if you saw every single piece of your values as your business model? What if you saw that as, and it's funny because back in the day, I used to say balance is my business model, but really what I was saying was my values are my business model. It's such a different way to go about it, is whatever your values are. And so if you're not strong, here's the thing, is if you're not strong with your values every single day on the internet, you are going to be so susceptible to the whiplash of the internet. One person is going to say slow living, slow business, passive income, and then the next post is going to be like hustle, post 50 million times a day, and you're going to get whiplash all day. You have to be really strong in your own center to not be influenced, but also to be open. It's like this weird mix of being open to shifting, to being open to changing, to being open to expanding your mind, but at the same time being really strong in your own values. And so the way that I see this is if my values are strong, I'm open to shifting and changing, but not in a direction that's outside of my values, not in a direction that's the opposite to my values. And so what that does is it creates like this really beautiful hybrid of all the things that I learn and all the things that I read and all the things that I listen to. And it creates this beautiful hybrid that's just put through the filter of my own values. And so this conversation that I began and I started around your values are not malleable, your beliefs are. So if you have values of being a stay-at-home mum but you're wanting to have $1 million business, most people say you can't have both. You can absolutely have both. You just go, my values aren't malleable, my beliefs are. So all you do is reprogram your beliefs that you can do that. That is literally almost like the simplicity of it. But most of the time when we have a big dream, we think that we're going to have to make these sorts of sacrifices, all these negotiations, or we have to compromise in some way, shape or form. You don't have to compromise your values to make it on the internet. What you do need to do is you need to reprogram your beliefs that you don't listen to people that say that you have to compromise your values to make it online. You can actually uphold your values, and that is going to be probably the reason you make it, not the reason why you don't. But most of the time, every single day on the internet, most of the time, the reason that you're not making it is because you think your values and that stuff you have to compromise, but there is no, you're just not going to do that. You got to think of that in that way, that there is no way in God's green earth that you are going to compromise your values. So why stop? Just stop wasting time. You're wasting time by having these big dreams, but at the same time, well, I can't do it with my values. I can't uphold my values. What if you completely looked at it a completely different way? Is your values are not to be fucked with. This makes so much sense. What are your values? Tell me your values down below. I love this. So Kate says freedom, fun, connection of mind. Yes. And even get even more with your values, make them fun. So my values are really different. They're unhinged sparkle. There's spontaneous adventure. There is all these wholesome togetherness. That's my family value. So instead of family, I say wholesome togetherness. And so it's obviously my values are friendly, my values are freedom, my values are fun, but unhinged sparkle, it gives it a different element that's really me, and it makes it really my way. Dream bigger is the number one of my values. And so this means that when I see things on the internet that don't line up to that, I can be like, nah, they're just, nah. But I can listen, I can read, I can admire, but I'm not going to adopt. I can admire, but I'm not going to adopt it. Spontaneous adventure, right? That gives it such a different thing, because right now we're looking at the middle of the year and we're looking at all these adventures, and it's just, I'm I don't know, because our value is spontaneity. It was even in our vows. Sometimes if you want to look at your values, is go back and look at your vows. If you're married, go and have a look at them. So mine was adventure. We had spontaneous and adventure with two of the vows, and this is almost 20 years ago when we did our vows. And so we can see the thread still there, even though we weren't trying to be these are our values. We've just realized, oh my God, those were our vows, which are also our values. And so how does this relate to your Brat business? I think what it does is it gives you this confidence and this certainty of a different kind, because most of the time you've got definitely, what are the rules that you think that you have to do in business? You can put them down below. Most people think, for example, the biggest one probably in my business that I am here to completely eradicate is you think you have to be consistent. And so many people come to me, I'm not consistent, I'm constant. I'm not consistent. I do not drip feed my content. I am just all about it. Catch me if you can, and then I'm out. I'm gone. You're not going to see me, but I'm going to be out in the back coaching my clients, doing my things and delivering my deliverables, but I'm probably not going to be on the front lines. And this freedom to come and go as I please in this next era of mine, after showing up pretty much every single day for a decade on the internet, and this freedom of coming and going as I pleased, I had this mindset, the way that I saw it, my perspective of that coming and going as I pleased was me, the way that I framed it was oh, I'm not taking it seriously, or I'm not taking scaling seriously. And I had this moment, which I've had from every single quantum leap in my business, this moment where I was if I want to scale, I have to get serious. So I can't just come and go as I please on the internet. But then there's this beautiful thing that happens, and I had this cog shift where I'm no, Brat business. I'm really loving coming and going as I please. I really love that. I really like coming and going as I please, right? So I'm I really like that. It really works in with my values of free-spirited, bright-minded, spontaneous, and it's dream bigger, because it's I come and go as I please when I really want to. I'm here on the internet, I'm going live, and then I'm dropping 4 reels in a day, because I like to listen to binge content. I don't particularly like to be drip fed. I just like it all, and I like it all at once. Just give it to me all, I'll be able to digest it. And seeing it through the lens of, there has never been a time that I've quantum leaped my business or quantum leaped my life by getting serious. Whereas most of the memes on the internet, don't live your life through memes on the internet. That is write that down. Stop living your life based on memes on the internet, as in you need to slow down, or slow living, or you need to unplug. you might be somebody that does not thrive in that. And I was someone, it was such a beautiful thing that I got to do, is I got to have a year-long sabbatical where I got to experience it, and I got to really wholeheartedly try it on for size. And I tried it on for size in every single different way, shape and form that I could possibly try that year-long retreat, writer's retreat, semi-sabbatical on, and I did not enjoy it. Even though it's a meme to writer's retreat, cabin in the woods. It wasn't a cabin, it was a mansion on the ocean looking over Whitsundays. It was a vibe. But you got to remember, like, not everybody, just because it's a meme on Instagram does not mean that it's actually the right way to live your life. You've got to really look at it from your perspective. And just because it's a meme to be consistent on the internet, like on Instagram, every second post is be consistent. That's how you be successful. Well, what if you're creating consistent shit? That's not going to be the vibe then. If consistency kills your fire, then that's not going to be the vibe. If consistency kills your creative flair, not going to be the vibe. Imagine if you just come and go as you please. Imagine giving yourself that permission and knowing that the love of your craft and the love of what you want to do is going to be enough that you still show up on the internet regardless. Oh my God, I'm just like riffing with you guys. Hopefully this lands. I just wanted to give you this little rampage, this little riff. I just needed to riff about Brat Business model, like having a Brat business. You get to come and go as you please. And I just feel like the internet needs that one person that is saying that not every meme on the internet about business is true and real. Like, maybe you don't need to be consistent. Maybe you need to be freaking inspired. And in order to be inspired, it's looking at every day as what does inspire me, get me inspired. Does it inspire me to be consistent? No. When I'm gallivanting, when I'm out to the coffee shop and I'm walking into coffee shops and I'm walking into stores, I could be to myself, you're not really working, you should probably work. It is me working. That is me working because I'm in the vibe, I'm in the energy that is inspiring me right now. It's kind of like, oh, let's go to the cafe. But that is like, I just feel like I just want to give you guys inspiration to go do that. And if you have full belief that you can show up and you can show up how you want, when you want, wherever you want, in the way that you want, I guarantee if this is your life's work and you're meant to be doing this, you are going to show up. You don't need to rely on being disciplined. You are going to be devoted. You don't need to. If you are devoted to your work and your life work, this is not going to work if you're just a business. Okay, so this is probably a caveat. If this is just a business for you and you just want to make money and this is not your life's work, everything that I say is useless to you. This only works for people where this is your life's work. That is such a good disclaimer. That is such a good caveat that if this is your life's work, you're going to have that inner devotion. And so if you're taking advice from people that this is not their life's work, they're just making a buck online, they just want to make money online, the advice is different. Because they cannot just rely on the love of their craft. They cannot just rely on the devotion that they have to their work because they're not devoted. They're not in love with it. They don't have that love of their craft. They don't have a devotion to their work, and so they don't have that same drive and motivation. So for you, if you're a life worker, you're going to have the drive, you're going to have the determination. So the consistency code is kind of irrelevant for you because you're going to be showing up in some way, shape or form, but maybe not in such a rigid way. Maybe not at 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. every single day at the same friggin' time because you've got to put yourself in robot mode because there's no emotion in it. You have emotion invested in this business. You are invested in the business. You have emotion in it. And so it's going to be a completely different ball game to you. So the rules are going to be different for you. The things that motivate you are going to be different. And what is going to motivate you is not going to be, let's be consistent. Let's be disciplined. Let's be focused. Those three things are going to actually take you out of the motivation versus bring you more motivation. They're going to make you feel less inspired, not more inspired. They're going to make you feel less creative, not more creative. Whereas if you're a life worker, you can rely on your devotion, your love of your craft, and more like a determination instead of a focus. And you are going to show up. And so if you just allow that to come forward, if you allow that love to come forward, you're going to create more than you've ever created before. And it's not going to be from discipline. It's not going to be from consistency. It's actually going to be prolific. It's going to be prolific. It's going to be overflow. You're going to have ideas upon ideas upon ideas because you're going to let yourself go with it versus make yourself. And so the rules that apply to just business owners that just want to create a business that creates money, passive income, they don't want to have an attachment or a relationship. They don't even want a relationship with their customers. They don't want to know their customers. They don't want to know the faces. They don't want to know the people in their business. That's not your life's work. The life's work, for it to feel like you're doing something, like you're having an impact, you've got to have relationships with your clients and customers. And so people that have relationships with their clients and customers, you're going to be motivated on the front lines. There's going to be this motive, this drive that is different from everyone else. And so this is where the Brat Business comes in, is you look at the memes, the business memes on the internet, and you're like, no, I don't want to. And so when you see somebody else saying, you're going to have to do what you don't want to do, just remember they're saying that from the truth of what it means to be an entrepreneur of a business that's not their life's work. They're doing it from the truth of they are a business owner. They are a CEO. This is not their life's work. Their life's work is maybe to just have a business. It's not particularly to do the work that they're doing. It's a completely different ball game. So stop trying to play the game, the rules of their game, when you're a life worker. It's a completely different kettle of fish, completely different ball game, completely different rules. And they're going to need consistency, all of those things. And they can't let her cook. They can just copy and paste. They don't need to be above the radar. They can copy and paste. They can have a template business, copy and paste, rules, follow the rules, all of the things. So they don't need to follow all of the situations. Hello, Amy's here. Hi, Amy. So that's the little riff that I wanted to give you guys today. It's just like, I feel like in order to really get these Brat Business vibes coming through, I needed to just riff on it, just like a raw dog riff. So here we are. That was fun. Oh my God. Hi. Oh my gosh. I am so frothing on this Brat Business. I don't even know, I think I've been talking for like 10 minutes straight, just riffing on Brat Business. It just is such an energy to it. It's like, started with let her cook, just like letting her go. And now it's like Brat Business. It's the rules of your life's work, just a completely different to the rules of if it's just a business that you're having with just the normal business. Like, so some people, their life's work is literally just to have a business. So it's not particularly the actual life's work that you have to do. It's just your life's work is to have a business. And so those rules apply. But to you, the Brat Business is whatever your values are, whatever those values are, that's the business model. That's it. And if you actually really take that to heart, you're going to have such a powerful business. It's going to explode. It's going to be amazing. It's going to feel really, really good as well. And you're not going to need all the normal codes that everybody else needs to show up consistently, because you've got that love of your craft. You've got that obsession. You've got that frothing over it. You can't shut up about it. I feel like if you do the Brat Business energy, where you come and go as you please and you do what you want to do, you're not going to be able to shut up. You're going to be prolific. You're going to create more than you've ever created before. You're not going to need to kind of like drip feed it out. You're just going to be actually like overloading the internet with your stuff, because you're going to be overflowing with ideas, because you've stopped kind of like constricting yourself to what you're supposed to create, the pace that you're supposed to create it in. And so I just want to really open up this conversation to the Brat Business model. Is essentially everybody's is going to be different, because everybody's Brat Business is basically like you're just being a brat. You don't want to do it that way, you want to do it this way, and it gets to work, and it gets to work even better, and you get to achieve your big dreams that way as well. You don't need to like, there is no leader online that is doing it like everybody else. There is no leader that popped up above the radar that is not doing it copied and paste. They are not copying, pasting. They're creating a new way. So create a new way. And the only way to create a new way is to understand your own values, to understand that you get to be a brat about it. You get to be like, I don't want to do it the other way. I don't want to do it I'm not a business meme. I don't want to just follow the business memes, the social media memes of you got to do it this way. You get to do it your way. And it doesn't mean you're not serious. It does not mean. So many times when you want to scale, you're like, I've got to get serious. There is no magic that has ever happened in my business because I got serious. It's only when I'm like, I got creative. Buy boxes, right? Like it's why? It's so weird, because like even for me with the 8 figures, it's like, oh, we got to get serious. And to me, it's actually, I know that it's the opposite. It's like you've got to get creative. You've got to get more unhinged. That's my path, and I know that's my path, but there's still a resistance to it. And what is that for you with that next big dream for you? And it might be against what you think is going to work, but it's going to, you know that is the reason that it's going to work. And so for me, when I look at my next big dreams, it's like, if it works that way, will I love it that way? No. But if it works that way, will I love it that way? Yes. But do I believe that it can happen that way? Probably not. And so the biggest thing that I want you to, even like every time you go to scale, every time you go to quantum leap, most times our brain goes, hey, let's get serious. And I want you to kind of like reprogram that to be like, actually, has anything in your life ever magical happened when you've gotten serious? Versus fall more in love with it, have more fun with it, be more creative with it, be more expressive, more like unhinged, more unconventional with it, test the edges, expand the edges, like really get like gritty with it. That's when the scaling will happen. The scaling will happen when you get more involved with it. But if you're not a life worker, this will not apply and it does not make any sense. But if you're a life worker, this makes absolute sense. And because nobody that ever quantum leaped ever followed everybody else's formula, you make it your own. You take everybody's formula, you take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you make it your own, and you put it through your own oysters, your own values. I think I've realized recently my values at the beginning of my business in 2011, you know how you had categories on a blog? I used to have categories. It was balance, business, big dreams, believe in yourself, and be yourself. Like, these were my categories of my blog, and I did not realize it then. But those are also my values, especially for that time in my life. I had created my values, and I built my business from that. And so I loved my business, but it was not the same as what everybody else was doing. I was accidentally creating a values-based business. And for women that are stubborn, it's the best way to do it. Because of your stubbornness, because of the pig-headed stubbornness, you're probably not going to build your business in any other way. And so, yes, I did have to raise to the occasion to be myself online when there was days when I didn't want to be myself. There is times when I had to bring balance into my business and bring balance into my life when I just wanted to work all day or when I just wanted to play all day. Balance is the same thing. So for me, I have a tendency to either or. I'm just going to play all the time, or I'm just going to work all the time. I'm just like, the balance is really good for me to be like, yes, and we also need to get out of the house. And yes, we also need to do some work. So balance is a value, and it gets me to like be in the thing. Being myself, bringing it online, big dreams, this constant raising myself to the occasion that I set myself. And then those, as I look now, like I really built a business around those values, and because of my pig-headedness and my stubbornness, I didn't budge. And so in a time where like I was new to, not so much new to business, but new to online, and I could be susceptible to the business memes on the internet and just follow the memes and whatever the freaking memes say that you need to meditate to relax, where I like to race cars to relax. It's like a completely different thing. Just knowing myself and knowing that I'm not a business meme and I'm not a meme. I do not fit into any of the memes. None of the memes really resonate with me ever. So I'm just going on all kinds of tangents today. I just really needed to like, you know how like when you just need to have a conversation about it? This is even Brat Business. I'm just going to the internet, just riffing on the internet, have no idea like how it's going to all come together, but I just needed to talk about Brat Business for a little bit. It's not a training and it's not a workshop. It's just me just talking. And I feel like we're getting there. I think the biggest thing that I've got from this riff, so thank you guys, I've realized that the Brat Business does not work for you if this is not your life's work. My stuff won't work. My literal stuff will not work if this is not your life's work. So that's a massive thank you, guys. Thank you for that insight. Because as I was talking, all the things that I was saying is like, you get to show up when you want, how you want, wherever you want. And if you want to show up 3 times a day, show up 3 times a day. So many, same thing, business memes, right? You think, oh, you need to like slow down. Business meme. Whenever I'm thinking in business memes, I know it's not the way. So what if for you, creating 3 posts a day is actually more relaxing, it is more fun, it is more exciting, it gives you more ideas, it makes you more excited for your business. Then you've got people like me that is a binge creator and has I just love dropping like 4 to 5 posts a day and then nothing for 3 days and then 4 to 5 posts or 3 posts or 10 posts. It just feels so erratic and so unhinged and so me that it makes me happy. But then it only works and creates growth if I believe that this way will work. If I believe that it's okay to be a brat. If it's okay to be a brat as in like I get to show up how I want, when I want, wherever I want. And that could be for you 50 million times a day, not less. And so you could see the business memes if you can create less. And you're like, that just doesn't feel fun. Well, create more. That's you being a brat. You're being a brat by doing it that way. Yeah, that's the vibes. How's that resonating with you guys? Let me know. How is that resonating? Then I should just wrap it up. Well, that was a pure fire. I wrote this the other day. I randomly just like quickly put this like oh, hi Christine. Hi Anna. I randomly put this little thing out the other day and it said, they say you need to focus. I say have more fun. They say you need to niche. I say have a narrative. They say you need to be organized. I say until you hit 8 figures, fire hose mode on. Yes, I'm definitely a brat. Okay, everyone declare if you are a brat and what being a brat means for you. Let's have a little conversation. I feel like I've been talking at ya. Yes, definitely feeling the brat vibes. What is your version of being a brat? Because I don't want you to be like, oh, being like Jana is being a brat, doing it randomly, binge creating. Hey, please don't think it's that. It's not that at all. It's your being a brat could be like posting 3 times a week is you being a brat. Can you see how like being a brat is like, I just don't want to do it that way. I just don't want to do it that way. You can be as big as brat as you want to be, but there's a caveat. Let me know if you want to hear that. I'll give you the caveat to being the biggest brat once you tell me what your version of being a brat is. The only way that being a brat and having a brat business is going to work, there's a way it won't work. I appreciate you sharing this, making me feel better. I love that. Yes, Karina. Hi, Karina. Kate, I'm definitely a brat. My version of brat is spontaneous energy. Oh my gosh. Then giving myself permission to do nothing, then go all in again. Who needed this hallelujah moment? Like what? Where has somebody been that gives us permission to do that? Where have they been our whole lives? Right? Like spontaneous is in my wedding vows. Why would I think, oh, I have to be very scheduled with my business if I want to get serious enough, I want to scale? No. What person has ever scaled by doing it the way that everybody's doing it? Everybody's scheduling. Everybody's being scheduled. Everyone's planning their content. People have been planning their content for years. People have been doing 7 posts a week for years at 6 a.m. Well, why aren't they like exploding? Because the thing that you think you need to have is probably the opposite of what you actually need to do. No, but like, needed this 90 days sprint. Babe, I'm always randomly sprinting. Right? Like, right? Right? Oh my God, this is so powerful. Like, this is going to be a life changer, you guys. This is why I wanted to like riff on Brat Business vibes, just to give you this vibe, because it's going to change your business. Like it even changes my business by going, okay, the way I lead from here on out is I'm for the people that are the brats, that you just don't want to do it the other way. Now, when it comes to being a brat, I'm not talking about somebody that doesn't care about their work. I'm not talking about people that this is not your life's work. You've got to have a passion and a drive. None of what I'm saying is going to work if you don't love what you do. If you don't love what you do, I got nothing for you. But if you have created a monster of a business that you don't love, I got something for you to like create it into a business you love again. Because that's what can happen, is you can start off with great intentions. Oh my God, I got a story, hashtag story time. Story time about the person at the paddock. The paddock story time. Put that down below because otherwise I'm going to forget it. Let me know if you want to hear my little story about this person. Okay, I was at the, oh my gosh, hello everybody. Oh, okay, we got some vibes going on now. Let's do some story time. This is what has inspired this kind of whole situation. Storytime Paddock. Thank you. You guys understand the assignment. A couple of days ago, I was sitting at the Paddock, which is the bakery. There's a really beautiful bakery that I absolutely love. It's like my favorite cafe. It's actually a cafe. It's so pretty. It's in an old Queenslander house, and it's basically just imagine an old wooden Queenslander house that's turned into a cafe, and the kitchen is the counter, and then the front yard, they've got all like old style tables, and then upstairs in the house is being renovated to be a dining room, and then there's another dining room downstairs in the barn. It's just got all these different sitting areas in a house. It's so cool. Anyway, I'm there, and so there's this girl like so close to me. So her like computer is like so bright, and I can see every single word on it. It just is very big and it's very clear. And she's on this website, and this website's like how to be a successful coach, and it's bold writing, and it's yellow highlighter, and it's red flashing things, and it's book now, red flashing stuff, and this guy with the blue suit, and it's all scripted, and it's like, you can win too, that kind of energy. I'm like, oh my God, this is so ick. You're making us look so bad. I forgot how bad some people make us look. So annoying. And then she looks like me. Her hair is literally like this. Just like free-spirited hair. She does not look like somebody who is going to resonate with that. I'm like, why did you end up on this? How did you end up here? And it says how to be a successful coach, and she fills out the form. Mind you, she's right like there, like this is how close she is. So I'm seeing the whole screen. It's not like I need to try. I just look there and it's right there. So close. It's like under a meter away of me. That's how close she was. And then like her screen was so bright, I could see every single detail. Like she's filled in her little thing, and then she's booked the call. So it's how to be, so obviously it's doing a sales call, it's oh yay. And then there's this thank you video, but there's this whole script, and there's upsell now. So now she's on the upsell thing, and it's like how to do it 2 times faster and buy this thing. So she's got the sales call booked, and then like the buy now window. I don't have very many of those windows. Like literally you buy from me, and it's like you got to track me down. Like you buy from me, I'll send you the thing. But if you want to buy something else, if you want to buy Figure 7, if you want to buy Me Brand, you got to talk to me. Like even if you want to buy Dollar Diaries, you got to talk to me. PS, by the way, if you're not in Dollar Diaries, DM me. Like I said, if you want to be in Dollar Diaries, DM. Because even for a $22 program, I want you to chat. Because I want to just know people that are in my business. I don't want to have sales calls, but I do want to have a relationship. I do want to know who you are in my world. So anyway, I'm watching this and I'm just going, oh my God, girl, you are going to be sent down. So here's what he's going to do. You're going to get a sales call, not from him, by one of his sales representatives who is going to have a script, who is not going to be able to go off of script. And he's going to tell you that unless you buy this $10,000 program, you are going to fail in your business. And you are going to be like, oh, well now I'm a failure because I'm not willing to do that. And if you do so happen to sign up for the $10,000, what he's going to do is show you how to build the funnels. But if you want them done for you, you're going to have to pay for it to be done. And the funnels that they're going to do are so complicated and so complex, and they're just scripts. Basically, you don't need to even be an expert. You don't even need to be good at what you do. Just copy and paste the templates that they've got. Even if that's not what you do, I don't care. Those are the pain points that you are now going to hit, because that's what's going to convert the most. And I'm just like sitting there just going, oh my God. She probably is really like good at what she does. And she's just going to go down this road, and she's just going to lose heart, and she's going to think the only way that she can make it is if she has to contort herself into a replica of this person. Because a lot of people that aren't good at business, people that are not good at business, only have one way. They only know one way, and their way is the only way to do it, because they've only had success in one way. The thing with me is I've had businesses for 20 years. I know how to make success happen whichever way I want it to happen, and I know how to happen with my clients' values. That's the only way it will happen. That's the only way that I care for it to happen as well. And that requires a strong kind of woman, because when you are, what it is creating leaders. And when I say leader, I mean the ones that pop underneath the radar, do not copy and paste and create their own methodology and their own formulas and run their own race and do their own thing and create ways that have not been created yet and do things that have not been done yet. And that requires guts, it requires faith, and a lot of people don't have neither of those. And when you're not feeling safe, when you're not feeling sure, when you're not feeling certain, all you want to do is go and latch on like a leech to something that is proven, like a proven method. Just give me the proven method. And when you don't feel at your best, you do not want to be creative, because to be creative is to be vulnerable. And so what you want to do is go like, I'm just going to show up and I'm going to teach what I know to teach, and I'm not going to share my heart, and I'm not going to share my energy. I'm going to protect my energy, I'm going to protect my heart, and I'm just going to share my head. I'm going to share my skills, I'm going to share my expertise, I'm going to share not my experience, because that would require heart, just I'm going to put my credentials, I'm going to put forth my skills, I'm going to share my how-tos, I'm going to share my what-to-dos, I'm going to share my templates, I'm going to share my swipe files, I'm going to share all of the strategies, but I'm not going to share my heart, because that would be too vulnerable, it would be too open, it would be too unknown. But my clients, it's required. It's not so much required to be vulnerable in a sense that you just dish all your dirt on the internet. It's not even required, but you got to have some heart in it. You've got to be present, like engaged. You can't just share your head. When it's your life's work, you've got to share your experiences from your heart, like I just did, and it's going to come through. So, as I was watching her sitting there, I was like, maybe I need to share more about this. Creating a coaching business from a brat energy, not from that energy. Does that resonate? So like completely different energies, because I want her, that girl that signed up for the how to be a successful coach. I think we're missing the point even. It's not about how to be a successful coach. It's how to be, like, I can tell you in 3 words. 4, be great at what you do. That's a successful coach. Whether you're making $1 million or not is different. I can help you to create a personal brand that helps you to be known, but being good at what you do is how to be a successful coach, not being great at marketing. But if you want to become and crack the millions, being a coach and good at what you do is get great at your craft, fall in love with your craft even more, fall in love with yourself even more, and get the guts and get the faith to do it your way and be a brat. As in, when everyone's doing that, you go do this. You do it your way, in your style. It's like when you walk into a room and there's a dress code and you are like, I don't like that dress code, I'm gonna dress how I wanna dress. All eyes are gonna be on you. So when you do business your way, it's the same thing. You're gonna walk into the room where everybody is doing it one way and you're doing it this way, but those are the only way that leaders are born. Leaders as in that get out from underneath the radar, pop up above the radar, is you cannot be following the crowd. If you follow the crowd, you'll stay under the radar. Go you, slow clap for you, you're under the radar, nobody's gonna know who you are, and yes, you're not gonna have a target on your back, but your life's work is not gonna be seen and known to the degree that it could be. And if you really are doing your life's work, there's so much value in that, and there's so much value for people in that they get to know about it. There gets to be more people than just your little tiny circle that get to know about it. How does that resonate with you guys? That's the story. So that story kind of inspired me to go, I feel like I don't really talk to newbies very much. I have Me Brand, which is my 6-month program to create the beginnings of your $1 million business. But if you have a $1 million business and you maybe hate what you created, or you've created a bit of a monster and you don't know how to pivot or shift or change. So it works if you've got a $1 million business, it works if you've got 10K a month, it works if you're at 5K, but it works if you're doing nothing. Me Brand works if you're doing nothing. The reason being is it's to create a 6-figure or 7-figure personal brand for your life's work. That's what it's for. Because there is a method in that, there's a framework to that, and there's so much faith and so much inner knowing that's required. And so that's a lot of the work that we do, is it's translating inner knowing, like my values, like I said, dream bigger, unhinged sparkle, spontaneous adventure, wholesome togetherness. All these values are the work that I've done through Me Brand, is these values that I've created so I know myself. And then I translate that. How do I translate that into my personal brand? So Me Brand is my way for like, do I have a thing that can help people that want to be a successful coach? Don't miss the point. It's about creating a personal brand that helps you to crack the millies while doing your life's work. It's like a whole thing. So good. Yay. Yes, your way, your style. Be a brat. Love this. Okay. Did you resonate with that story? Let me know. All right. I think I will let you guys go. If you're not in Dollar Diaries, we have day 2 dropping today in Dollar Diaries. This is amazing. This is my subconscious reprogramming, 22 days. I'm having so much fun in there already, and it's only day 2. And the second thing is DM me if Me Brand feels like the vibe. It's 6 months. It's a 6 months whole situation. And you get the master course, plus you get monthly mastermind sessions. So we get basically a mentoring hot seat once a month inside of there as well to ask me all the questions. So that is the vibe. Hope you guys have the best day ever. Going to be doing. Share this with your friends who need it, who want to feel this energy. And there you go. I'm glad that I got that off my chest. Thank you so much for being here and inspiring it and co-creating it with me. And I'll see you on the internet. Have the best day ever. Chief Big Dreams Genie on the internet is out.